Hello and welcome in the Profitable Author. And today I'm going to pick the brain of Zahrina Robertson, who is here with me to share some very important information for those who are on the author speaker path. Zahrina is Australia's leading multi-award winning brand photographer and video strategist for speakers and authors. Welcome. How are you, Zahrina?
I'm good. Sorry, that's my puppy in the background.
Is it a new puppy, or is it one that's just wanting to say, hey, I'm here too?
Yeah. I am here too, yeah.
It is lovely to have you here with us to make the time and speak to our authors and authors to be in this group, the Profitable Author Hub. And I'd like to see if I can really nut out from your knowledge, your expertise, and particularly your experience of being in this field of expertise for quite a while, what our authors need to know and look out for when they are ready with their book or working towards their book, that the show reel is a hugely important part of promoting themselves on the professional speaker's path. That is correct, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Look, thanks for having me here, and hello everybody. Welcome as well. I think in the short amount of time we have together, I'd love to be able to paint a picture literally about the importance of brand, your personal brand as an author, but also not only that, it's actually about what you do with your brand as an author to make the impact that you want with the book that you put time into and invested in time into to shift people, to help people, or to book people to buy from you or get to know you. So, I'm an author. I'm a multi-author. I'm a children's book author. I'm a magnetic branding author, self-published and all as well. But I've written a couple of other books. But I know that with doing your own book, sometimes we just, because it's a physical thing, because it's such a physical thing, it's just like, oh, it's done, because you can see it and you can hold it. And then what happens after that happens, after we've held the book, we're like, all right, next project, and next. But we also think, oh gosh, as an author, how can I, there's a missing part about helping, there's a missing link, a vital missing link about having this book. So having a book that you've written, to absolutely out the other side, helping the right people, your target market, with your book. And, it is the world's most expensive, business card, right? So why are we not utilizing it to the best and the maximum of its possibility? And the way to do that is absolutely you, the author, sharing the gold nuggets within your book. And how do you do that? Well, you could do interviews about your book. You could talk to the kingdom. Well, you literally are talking, right? So there's different ways to showcase your book. But the most way that a lot of authors are talking about their book is they are talking. They're speaking.
And that's right. In the video, it always comes across not only who you are, but also that feel for that personality of yours, doesn't it? There's so much you can put into a book, into words that are read by people, but the video is coming alive. It's you actually being you, really authentically out there. So you've done this for a while. You're not brand new to it. So you've got all the ins and outs. I can already hear that from your, what you're sharing so far with the authors here and the authors to be, of course, and you being an author yourself. So you know that journey of what it takes. And I have to quickly say, I have not heard it being called, the book being called the world's most expensive business card. I know everybody says it's the top business card. I don't quite see it as a business card, but I like how you're saying it, the most expensive, if you're not using it, isn't it? If you're not using it.
It's not just not using it, it's actually not using it strategically. So it is the world's most expensive business card. If you're not doing it and using it strategically, it's costing you money. Yes. So at the end of the day, if you're an author and you're feeling stuck with your book, or your book about to be birthed or coming out of you, you've got to look at the light at the end of the tunnel. We put our blood, sweat and tears into this book. but what do we want at the end of it? The end game is the most important thing. And that end game is that you need to make the impact that's needed, right? The way to do that is getting on stage and speaking about your book. It's imperative, and it's really natural and organic to be able to share what you have written about.
That's right. And you can kind of break it up as well. Once you've done your show reel, or you've done your video on it, you can break it up into smaller chunks and use it in different scenarios over and over to your best advantage as well, is what I would say. Now, I have to say there's quite a few people who know about you, who know your name straight off. When I mentioned it, they said yes. I didn't mention your name. They just said yes. The best person for show reels in Australia is Zahrina. There you go. You are well known. How long actually have you been doing this, Zahrina? How long? Long time?
Gosh, how long have you got? A long time, years. I've been doing this for years. I've been storytelling. I craft compelling stories, full stop. And be it magnetic compelling stories. But I've been doing this for a long time. And what I know to be true, it's all about the story. It's all about the production value on video. It's about angles, about making sure that the person in front of me is seen as the expert and the person of influence of that industry. So I craft people to be of that notoriety now, and known for doing high quality work and output. But I've been doing it for a long time. I have a marketing background. I used to work for Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, LVMH in marketing, and so I have a high-end corporate thought process. I have a branding and marketing. I've studied branding and marketing, so I have that. But my natural gift as well is the high-end creativity. And because you mix it up all together like that, it is very powerful for what I know to be true, to have a long-lasting career as what I do, as being a branding specialist expert. Visual assets is what I help my clients, speakers and leaders have, so they can attract a wider audience and make that impact fast. And so within milliseconds, I can create a brand. I know within milliseconds how I want that person to be in their clothing. I style all my clients. And so what happens is that that's very powerful, because I know, I feel a real deep connection with my customers, my clients, and I know what I want to see of them, and I know what they would look good in instantly. Without even holding a camera to them, I know how to dress them. So it's a one-stop shop. I provide a strategy, branding strategy, the whole lot. It's a really, really actually an exciting process to go through.
It sounds fantastic. And it also, your excitement comes across that too. Now tell me, I have with book writing so many myths that people believe. What is it like in your area of expertise? Are there myths around what you offer, the branding, the brand photography, the whole show reel creation? Are there myths in people's minds when they come to you that you say, no, that's not really how it is?
Well, first of all, I guess the number one thing over the many years I've been doing this is it's the people. So what happens, right? So people come to me here and I create their brand within milliseconds, and it gets them up there to being world class and instantly from there to there, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're scared of that. Sometimes people just love it. They all want it. But sometimes they're like, that's, and at the end of the day, your customers, your ideal clients are wanting to work with you at this world-class level. You want a world-class bank account. So, I elevate you to be at that level, because the people I work with are people who are smart, intelligent, kind, authentic. They know their stuff. They have enough runs on the board to understand that they need a rebrand or a new brand, and they need to know that they need to know to go from the base level to up their level, level up. And I think that's really important in this day and age, since COVID, that we have all been online. We've all been stuck on Zoom. We look a certain way, but now it's that's our old collateral, our old images, our old videos are old. And now we need to be in the fresh new you as an author, like new author photos, new author images for your book cover. Like, it's really important to be absolutely relevant to your ideal market as an author. Really is. Like,
Yes, that's right. And I think, you know, you want to look fresh, you want to look the way you look right now, you want to portray that, of course. So do people come to you then predominantly with the idea of branding and rebranding themselves, or do they come more with the idea of, I want to be a speaker, I've got my book, or I'm looking at getting my book finished, and I want to go out there and be a professional speaker? Is there one or the other more often inquiries that you become?
Well, with my author show reels, right? I work with emerging authors and established authors. Okay, no doubt about it. They're all out there, and I love them. And I take them and I curate them as a brand with their messaging for what they need to say. So it's a one-stop shop, and so I help them what they need to say. And then I make sure that when they are turning up, they're in on the film day, the ultimate speaker showreel film day, that they are running in the room and they are excited. And it is so much fun because I only take 6 authors in a day. So up to 6 and no more. And it's a real beautiful community. I've got a growing community of professional speakers and emerging speakers and authors. And it's just so beautiful because your book gets featured, your book gets literally like everywhere in all this video footage, and it gets showcased. You get, you know, like photos of you and your book, photos of the book. It's so comprehensive. It's just a one-stop shop. So when you got an author website, you have to go nowhere else. You just get all your beautiful photos put up there into your website, and you own that message of your book with all the beautiful collateral. And so what people get at the end of it, like, you know, is definitely that magnetism to their ideal client. You as an author are completely proud to share your website to your ideal market. And I'm not joking. And that the video reel that you get is really convinces people to hire you. So here's some examples. I had an author, and she was on the draft. She had a draft show reel, and so she sent it to a UK mob, and that had a massive international global conference. And it's like for NLP people as well. And it's a global conference. They said, no, we're stopped. The doors are shut for entries for speakers. Anyway, so she sent the draft video. I said, please have a look at it, have a look at it. No, not thinking, you know, they will. They said no. But she said, just please, please, please. They opened up the reel. They watched the video, of course. They watched it. They wrote back straight away and said they have never seen a speaker show reel that good ever, and booked it like that.
Wow, that is success, isn't it? That is absolute success. Wow. So that is a combination of you being able to tap into the person instantly when you get to know them, to know what that message needs to be, create that story for them, and then let them tell the story from their own authentic personality, is what I'm hearing. That sounds really, really exciting.
But you know what I do? I help the authors tweak themselves into being commercial speakers. So I take authors who might say, you know how to talk about their book and what their message and all that, but I tweak them to turn into what I want from them on the day. It's just phenomenal.
And how do you come across then, if you have several people that have a similar story to tell, or they tell you a similar story, how do you look at differentiating them if they have not written the book yet, which happens sometimes? People decide, I want to be a speaker, I want to start with the professional reel that I will need for that, and my book comes a bit later once I have my speaking story together. So what do you look for to differentiate them?
Oh, well, that's a great question. So I have many of my speakers who are not authors, right? So it's, again, reverse role. And then they want to write their book after they've done their reel, because that's the next thing they want to do. So what they use is the speaker show reel as the magnet for, and the big magnet to attract. And it's all about your profile. So the speaker agencies, the corporates, all these people, you want to do a workshop, you utilize the speaker show reel, right? To attract business and attract your positioning in the marketplace, right? So that's one thing. But when you haven't done your book, you can utilize the opportunities that you get to say, hey, a book coming, it's like you can,
it's a different approach from the other end. So if you have let's say you've got 3 ladies, mostly ladies.
So
coming and they say, look, I do NLP and I really want to talk about my particular method, but I haven't got a book yet. And then comes another one and she says,
that's so interesting you just said that, because I'm actually doing the Ultimate Speaker Show Reel Film Day on Friday, and I'm booked out, and I've got 2 women doing NLP.
Yeah. So how did you differentiate them?
Yeah, well, look, you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing, secret sauce. You ready for this? Everyone write this down. Write this down. Write this down, everyone.
Yes, let's write it down. What do we got?
3 words. Write this down. You are different. Your story matters, and you are different. These 2 people came to me with different angles, and I could see instantly I treat people individually. So individually and deepness about what's their story, but it's actually all about where their strain, where their modality is, right? The modality of NLP is massive, right? You can go and utilize it for different things. So one person was doing it for a different market, and another person, you were doing NLP for a different market. You're writing your book for a different market. It might be corporate, or it might be the public arena, like private public. There is so much difference in the world. I embrace it all, and everybody's different, and I get a really smart marketing and branding angle so that they know how to turn up. I love it.
Because sometimes people have an idea, but it's not necessarily an idea, and you talked about this a little earlier, it's not necessarily an idea that is easily commercialized so that they can use it to become a speaker. Sometimes it's too obscure, for a better word. They're not very clear with it. Is what I experience when they come to me and they say, my book, and I'm going to write it about this, and this is what I'm thinking I want to have as a title. And I can see, from my perspective, I can see that it is just not clear enough to take it out there to attract an audience to the topic. That happens, doesn't it, when people have this idea, which is actually not really commercialized, possible to put it into the market. You go full on in and you say, hey, I can see who you are, and I can already tell. Is that how you go about it? That's what it sounds like.
Massive. I do it, from the styling to the messaging to you turning up, like tweaking you. I mean, I have literally launched superstars, and I've just done one last month's Ultimate Speaker Show Reel, and the 2 days after, he flew to New York, and so he was doing things in New York, and he got his draft version of his, he got his show reel, speaker show reel, and he's starting to get booked.
Wow. Yeah.
So from 1 month of filming, everything gets delivered within 10 days, 10 working days, photos and the video, the final product, and then boom, you're off.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, oh, don't forget me, when you're over there.
Yes. Well, I think that is absolutely fabulous. And you said a couple of times, one-stop shop. So you're really showing that person who wants to go onto the speaker path. And I mean, some people are not necessarily wanting to go that way, but I think a show reel can still be hugely important, just to get that message further amplified that they have created with their book, or want to create with their book, because it has got much wider or additional wider opportunity to be seen with video and photos, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, what I know to be true, and over the years I've been working with superstar brands, international people like Simon Sinek, Richard Branson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these different people. And even all Matt Church, he's a famous Australian speaker, brilliant, there's Dale Bowman I work with, there's all sorts of people. And your profile is very important as a brand. But not only that, if you're, so for example, I look at personalities, like so introverts, a lot of introverts are, you know, authors as well. And this helps introverts actually express themselves in a great way and in a more meaningful and authentic way. And I work very well with authentic people with heart. And so I do my best work with those people. And it really, truly, I'm not joking. The live audience that comes to my Ultimate Speaker Show Real Film Days, they're literally crying, laughing, or they're crying and laughing.
Because it's all there. The emotion is part of it all. That is absolutely brilliant, to bring that out in people. I guess that when somebody decides to go onto the speaker path, they have got this vision of a mission inside, don't they? They're pretty clear sometimes what they want, but they're not clear on how to express it. And so having these additional components for them, the whole, you know, the videos and the showing of their of themselves in various different ways in photography, especially done for them, that would really build confidence, really big confidence.
I tell you, the biggest thing is, right, as a speaker, and I am a speaker, right, I've done big stages, right, and big to small workshops, you name it, all that. One of the biggest things that you do as a speaker, like, you know, authors that are speakers, you get up on stage, you put all this effort in, right, you get booked and paid, or you don't, right, or you do free gigs. Guess what? You don't get great images, you don't get amazing video of you. So that's what's missing, and that's what we keep on going out there as speakers, but we're just not getting the instant gratification of our work back, you know, like the photos and all. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's a one-stop shop where it's controlled, and I do it in an environment. I've got 8 cameras on board, you know. Yeah.
Wow.
And my team has expanded because of this. It's been really good.
Yeah, I can imagine, you know, with all these having to stay at home for so many years now recently, now to get back out there, to be able to mix with real people in a real room is a huge difference. Is there anything that can be frustrating working with somebody? Do you come across one particular thing that you wouldn't mention normally, but, you know, you might just share with us? Is there something frustrating that pops up over and over?
You know what? I've done this for 100 years. I think I've had it all. Like, I mean, I'm like, even like, if you tell me one more thing, like about, oh, my smile is crooked, or I don't take good photos, or, you know, or I need to lose a weight. I'm like, all that, I don't see all this, right? I don't see all it. All I see and feel and I love is the soul of the person. Like, the soul of the person is what I'm connecting to. I'm not even connecting to their hips.
So you're really looking beyond, which is a huge gift to have, because people do, you know, so many, particularly women in business, I do know over the time I have been in business and I'm doing what I'm doing, they kind of try to hide themselves behind things, and they constantly have this self-talk. On the front, it's all about, I'm doing my positive affirmations, you know, I'm really positive. But behind there, they keep saying, oh, is my makeup all right? You know, what's my hair like? No, I'm not really good. That is really negative self-talk, and they don't even realize it. So you look way beyond that by the sound of it.
Yeah. I would say I'm a futurist.
Yeah.
I would say I'm a futurist for people. I really do see past. I see their potential, you know?
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so that's why I've been in this business for so long. I see people's potential, and I think it's a massive gift. There's a lot that you, and I do it, and I curate it really well. So nobody sees a bad photo of them, because it goes through my eyes for so many things, for consistency. Is this image going to sell them? Is it magnetic enough? Is it storytelling? Is it compelling? You know, the whole shebang. Within milliseconds, I'm deciding that with every image I edit of all my people.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about the actual process that people would go through when they come to you. They contact you and ask a few questions. What's the process you take them through? They have to put some questionnaire back, answer some questions for you. Tell us a bit about what you do.
And is this about the author's show reels?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, no, we have a conversation. It's all about having a conversation, because I don't look, we can hide behind words, but we can't hide when we're talking, right? So it's really important that, like, it's like I'd rather talk to the human. Again, I'm more soul driven, right? And I'm more connecting that way with people than, reading. No way. I can't do with another email. No. I want to do with humans, right? Humans, personal branding is all about human connection. If you're in business as an author and you want to make that human connection, you need to be seen and heard, and your book is going to be read, no doubt about it. But if you are going to be an author that doesn't want to be seen and heard or read, don't be an author.
Yeah, absolutely. So they contact you and you have a conversation with them, which I could imagine is already that very first step where you get your feel for who they are, and what the big thing about them is that they might not even realize themselves.
Yeah, and what's funny? It's interesting. I had a conversation with yesterday with a guy, a coach he's coached for 30 years, and he's also kind of like a new author, and he, as a person, was very like vulnerable and like he's very tender, I felt, and so I got to the bottom of that and I understood why, and he had a big story to share,
right?
And I'm going, my gosh, your perfect avatar is this and this, right, with like who he works with, and I'm like, the longer the longer he doesn't turn up means the longer his ideal clients are in pain.
Yeah, and to realize that can really give them the jolt to go ahead and get going, isn't it?
Yeah, because everybody on the planet needs someone's help. And so if we are selfish and we are not putting ourselves out there as an author, you are doing a massive disservice to not only that poor person out there dying to hear from you, dying for you and their community and their family for you to help, or their career to change and their mindset to change. Everybody gets affected, right? So by us not being ourselves, authentically living in purpose and on purpose as the author that we should be, shining author and magnetic author, then you know what, you've got to really think about, where are you going with your life?
Yes, absolutely. That's correct. Now, you've just mentioned, so the person's already, sometimes when people come to you, they already have their book and they come to you, you have your conversation with them for getting them the exposure visually that you do. Do you sometimes find that they may have misinterpreted their own audience for the book, and so that is really not 100% going to work with what they have in mind, or with what you can see they need to have in mind?
Yeah, that's a great question. The good old mismatch.
Yeah.
It does happen, right? Look, even people without a book, right? Even people without a book, even business people who think that, okay, this is my audience, right? No, and I'm going, maybe not. I'm thinking of something bigger, because I've got a marketing background and you have too. And so we're kind of like, I'm thinking about something different, right, for them. And they're thinking about this track with their book. And I'm going, no, it's over here.
Yes, and that can be the thing that jolts them out of themselves.
Massive. And that's where I am the star maker.
Yeah.
That's where. And that's exactly what you just hit, is that is where that's the magic, where I come in and go, there.
Yeah, I love that, because that really resonates and synergizes with what I do too. I don't like the person to be too small around what they want to do with their book, and I really want to make sure they know that they are doing something with their book. It's not just their dream come out onto the pages, but it is, and it is not just helping people, but it is helping themselves to bring it out there, but it also needs to be in a way that it will be received. So it's got to be designed for the audience, just like all of their visuals need to be designed, as you said before, to really show off who they are, which is designed for the audience in a big way too, isn't it? So great, I love that. Now you have got taking in authors or taking in speakers, people who need to and want to get into the professional path of speaking. You're taking them in a very small group. You just said that earlier, no more than 6.
Yeah, I've only got 2 spots left in December. Come on, let's go.
So 2 spots
December
left.
16th.
Got to jump in if you want to do that and contact you directly. But you've also got something to share with the audience that we have here, if they wish to find out a little bit more about what they are doing, what they're not doing. Tell us about the little gift that you have for them that they can download from your website.
Yeah, well, like if you're like an author who wants to speak, I've got this link in the chat. Go and do your go and find out your score and get some feedback from the score of how you fill it out. Like, so it's a successful speaker score that you'll get, and you'll get some feedback and insights into you and what you need to be successful, to share your message to a wider audience and absolutely make the impact with you as a person, a human being with a book or no book. I mean, but basically go and do that link, go to the link and fill it out, and you know what? Get some feedback, and then have a conversation with me.
So I have actually put that link directly below the live that we are doing right now. I've invited you to come in so you can converse with anyone in the group as well, Zahrina, if they have questions, if they want to take it that way. And of course, I've popped the link in there so they can go and take that and explore for themselves, what their score is if they would make a successful speaker. And if they're not sure, or the score comes a bit uneven, then they can come and ask you and talk to you, because you're going to find what really it is that they need by the sounds of what you've showed with us so far today.
Yeah, it's all about your visual assets, everybody.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Well, I thank you so much for your time that you've given us so freely, and answered the questions that I have asked you, and just generally talked about that whole topic around visual branding, photography, brand. Put all of that together and create for particularly speakers, speaker authors, the show reel. That is such an important part for that path. But it is also equally important for any author who really wants to promote themselves and share the message of their book, share the message that they've put into their book. And it sounds like you really are the person to come really into it, dig really into what it is that speaker, that author needs to talk about and show out there. Final words to you.
Oh,
what have you got? What have you got? A big tip for anybody, or something not to do?
I do have a tip. I have the biggest tip. We are in changing fast times. We are at the end of October, and your competitors are out there already planned 2023 by being on stage with their book. So I really believe that deep down, start thinking about a new way to market yourself in 2023 to be seen. Now that we're out of COVID, etc., we're going out there. Events are on. You need to be seen. You need to be seen. If there's anything, your visibility is so key in 2023. It's just, what do you call this word? It's a non-negotiable, right? To me,
Absolutely.
it's a non-negotiable. So I think that the sooner that you start thinking about your visibility, your impact that you want to make with a wider audience, it's about your visibility, getting on stage, get your speaker show reel filmed with me. You know what? I'll look after you and we'll have fun.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And we will hopefully hear more from you in time to come. I've popped the link below the video. Any questions can certainly go onto this post. And I'm looking forward to seeing what eventuates for people in this group. And for you, thank you so much again for your time today and the questions that you've answered and all the information you shared with us. Thank you, Zahrina.
Oh, thank you kindly for having me. You're the best interviewer. Thank you.
Thank you.